How's it going, my friends? I'm back with another video, and today I just wanted to talk about something that I was thinking about for the last couple days, and something that I think will be helpful to you guys. I think that the people who are subscribing to my channel are people that want to talk about real photography techniques and not just obsess over gear reviews, and talk about things that are actually going to help them become better photographers in general. I think if you've been shooting for a while, you know that no amount of gear is going to improve your photography. Really, it comes down to your technique and how well you know it, and just how long you've been developing your eye for photography. So today I want to talk about why you need less gear instead of more gear, and you should simplify your setup as much as possible. I think I said in one of my other videos that I only use 4 lenses, and that's true. I only use 4 lenses on a wedding day. Well, I only have 4 lenses total, but most of the time I'm actually only using 3 lenses. 35, an 85, or 35, 58, and an 85. Those are my 3 lenses that I pretty much use my whole wedding day. For any shoot, any engagement shoot, any event, I do my work with those lenses. I do have a 70-200 FL, but I really don't use it that much. That is just for situations where I really need to compress the background in like an extreme way on an engagement or shoot or something like that, or if it's on a ceremony where I really have to stay far back. For some reason I can't get up close. Yeah, those are really the only lenses I have, and those are the only lenses that I shoot with, is the 35, the 58, and the 85. So I used to have like a bunch of lenses. I had the gear acquisition syndrome where I was constantly purchasing new stuff. My gear, like, I mean, just in my, this is my office here, but it's connected to my room with all my gear. I have tables where I charge everything, and my memory cards and all that, and that like a huge table just filled with gear, lenses, just everything imaginable. And when I'd show up to a photo shoot or I'd show up to a wedding, I'd have like a bunch of bags with everything. I was constantly trying to switch lenses and get different angles and things, and it affected my photography in a negative way when I was on an event, a shoot, a wedding, something like that. Now, photography really is about simplification. No amount of gear is going to make you a better photographer. You have to know your stuff. Whatever you're using, you have to know it in and out, like down to a T. Every single detail, every single situation, you have to know how your gear, your camera body, and your lenses are going to help you. And you need to know how to push the most out of that gear as possible. So I went through a stage where I started really simplifying it, just basically selling everything that was unnecessary. I simplified it down to those 3 lenses, and I taught myself how to use those lenses for real. I stopped worrying about, am I gonna go into this situation and need this and not have it. No, I mean, from a 35 to an 85 focal length in those 3 lenses and that whole focal length range, I can get everything done. And in situations where it's a little bit tighter or a little bit longer or something like that, it forces me to get more creative and to come out of my comfort zone and to go look for another lens or something like that, and actually zoom with my feet, get into the situation closer or further away, actually like get the creative gears turning in my head, which has made me a better photographer. Also, like, I'm not fumbling around with all my gear. Like, if you're susceptible to thinking that you need more gear, you're going to be on YouTube and you're going to be online scouring the internet and consuming so much information. So much information about somebody trying to sell you something. There is no shortage of product advertisements, YouTubers and gear reviewers, people that are literally just trying to shove things down your throat and convince you that you need something. But photography isn't about gear. you should just use something. This is why I started making these videos on the Z6, because, you know, when it first came out, people are expecting the camera to solve every problem for them and to like do all the work for them. No. A camera and a lens is just a tool that should the idea is to have that piece of gear as non-intrusive as possible on the situation, but also enough out of your way to where your creative ideas can start flowing and can start, you know, creating something different and seeing things correctly and differently, and not looking at everything from a technical standpoint. I mean, we've all seen it, you know, some of the best photos in the world were shot on old film cameras with, you know, the resolution. I mean, it's nothing compared to what we have. The image quality is nothing compared to what we have now. But some of those old photos, they have depth, they have feeling, they have a certain something to them that had nothing to do with gear or specs. So I think that nowadays we have to be really, really careful about what we consume. Like, if you're going to subscribe to my channel and you're going to watch my stuff, it's not going to be about me trying to, like, you know, sell you things or convince you should go buy something. If I do a gear review on something, it's going to be, trust me, only something that I really, really believe that you need, or something that I really believe that I need, and something that's as cheap as possible. Like, I don't believe that we should be spending a ton of money on our gear. We should just be the bare essentials that's going to make our jobs easier so it gets out of our way and we can develop our own ideas. No camera, no technical spec, no amount of resolution, no extra big battery pack. Nothing is going to make your photography better unless you really, really know, like the back of your hand, your main lenses that you use, your main body that you use, and it's like a second nature. Like, you're not even thinking about it. You know those focal lengths, you're very comfortable with them, and you're not trying to like overload yourself with options and choices when you're on-site shooting. You want to get that stuff out of the way and focus intently on what's going on. And the only way to do that is not have to worry about all the, you know, the bullshit, like, you know, in your bag full of lenses and gear that you have to figure out what to use. No, I have 2 camera bodies with me at a wedding. I have one other lens basically in a side pocket, and that's it. I have one lens around my neck, one camera body around my neck, one camera body on a black rapid strap, and then one pocket and one lens on the side, and that's it. And I can go anywhere, and I can shoot anything, and I can get the results that I want because I know those focal lengths like the back of my hand. Like, it's about simplification, guys. You do not want to get into this cycle of being sold more things that you think are going to make you better, that people are trying to convince you that's going to make your photography better. It's not going to happen. What's going to make you better is to develop your eye and develop your comfortability with the stuff that you have, and then maximize that. And then if there's things that lack, after you've totally immersed yourself in what you have and you know it like the back of your hand, then you can, if there's vulnerabilities or if there's flaws and gaps in your workflow, you can start to add things. But I think it's very important and beneficial to us as photographers to simplify as much as possible. Get that extra gear out of this. Sell it. Sell that shit. Only get the stuff that you absolutely need. There's no reason to be lugging around a bunch of bags on a camera or on a wedding day, a bunch of camera bags on a wedding day. There's no need for that. You need to be intently focused on what's going on and not focused on your gear as much as possible. And that's one of the reasons why I love the Z6. It allows me, I don't think I need a Z7. I don't need the resolution. I'm not doing product or event photography. I'm not printing out my photos on billboards. I'm doing events. I'm photographing people's weddings. So I don't need those extra megapixels. So why would I buy a Z7? The Z6 is perfectly suited for people like us who shoot weddings. I mean, it's so good. You're taking the meter out of the mix. You're looking through a very good EVF that eliminates a whole nother level of thinking or brain power that you're using on a wedding day. It's small, it's compact, it's not getting in the way, it's not a pain to hold all day. It's just an amazing camera. And that's the reason why I love it so much, is because it's simplified. it's allowing me to divert brain power that I normally have to think about with a DSLR. I'm diverting that brain power to what's most important: composition, creativity, being aware of what's going on in the scene. And ultimately my pictures are coming out so much better because I'm more creative with it. The 3 focal lengths, I mean, I don't think a lot of wedding photographers would go into a situation like that. Like, literally, I want to shoot a whole wedding with just a 35 millimeter. That's really what I want. I would love to get down to that. You know, I would. It would be so great to just have one camera, one lens, and just to photograph the whole story just like that. I think it can be done, and I want to look at that in the future. But yeah, I think that, you know, wedding photography is a very special type of photography where you get to be very, very creative and stand out amongst the crowd if you can just follow the things that you're naturally attracted to and things that, you know, interest you, and get that gear out of the way. I mean, you can become such a better photographer if you just focus on your composition and you focus on the creative aspect of it and get those decisions about, you know, all the extra stuff. Get that stuff out of your head. We don't need no more products, guys. Everything is unbelievable compared to even like 5 years ago. I mean, the cameras now are just crazy. I mean, everybody knows that inherently, that we're being sold things, and I'm just so sick of pulling up YouTube or pulling up, you know, any friggin' photography site and just seeing like the next thing that people are telling us that we need. We're being sold, guys. We're not being, there's not a lot of like real information out there from people who are actually out there in the field shooting, telling you, hey, learn your gear more. Let's talk about simplification. Let's talk about the things that we need essentially, and let's talk about how to use them in creative ways and create something different. You know, rather than, oh, I need to just blow a bunch of money on the newest stuff because, you know, Frono's Photo or something tells us that we need that. No, you know, not trying to knock him. I mean, he provides a service, but, you know, he's feeding that gear acquisition syndrome. He's constantly putting in your face, review this, what's better, this, that. I mean, I guess there's a place for that, but if you don't have that in your mind, that, hey, this stuff really isn't going to make me better, and I should learn what I have and simplify the process so the gear's out of my way as much as possible, I come up with something creative. If you don't have that in your mind, you just get sucked into this trap of thinking that you need the next thing. So yeah, tell me what you guys think about that. I was thinking about this for the last couple of days, and I really, really think it's important that, you know, somebody comes out and advocates for the art and the craft of photography rather than the technical and the gear side of it, because they're two different things. They really are. If you want to get better, you need to focus on your composition. You need to focus on creativity, you know, listening to yourself and understanding what you're drawn towards. Those are the things that are going to develop your photos, not new lenses, not a infinite number of gear selections to choose from. You know, so let me know what you guys think about that. Drop it in the comments. Again, I want to say I really appreciate all my new subscribers and everybody, you know, commenting on the photos and everything. And there was one guy who commented on my my hoodie here, so I wore it straight for him. You know, I miss the days when we could all just have different political opinions and, you know, everybody just get along despite that. You could respect people, but yeah. Anyways, yeah, let me know what you guys think in the comments, and any other videos you guys want me to do, just drop it in the comments, and yeah, I'll make something for you guys as well. So yeah, excited to hear from you guys.